High noon kickoff as Marymount College kickoff, and the receiving will be Shalom College. So Marymount from left to right into the breeze. Michael Crutcher joins me in some heavy contact Div1 for the first time appearance on field number one. We've had some great games so far here this morning, but as the sun goes over the halfway point, we're into some fantastic footage. Shalom College, the host school 3 years ago, seems a long time ago at Bundaberg. And their first appearance here at Confraternity 2022. Michael Crutcher, a few interesting details about this game.
Yeah, well, we're into Div 1, as you said, John. So these are our teams playing for the Confraternity Shield, which is, of course, the most prized trophy this week out of the six that are awarded. So Marymount and Shalom here. We've had a bunch of Div 1 games on other fields, though. So this is the first time we get a chance to really see what some of these Div 1 schools are like. And on the other fields, among the most impressive were Ignatius Park College from Townsville, the defending champions from 2019. Last time we played for a trophy, and a massive crowd around St Patrick's College Mackay. They won their match against St Peter Claver and won it well. So plenty of, looks like parents, there was lots of people in work clothes and so forth. So here we go, Marymount and Shalom, to see what these two teams have got.
Jai Watton runs into his opposite 13 there, and Jack Bacaro. 40. McAllister driving forward. McAllister gets across halfway, tackled by Ryan Smith. The prop forwards coming together. Nothing better in rugby league. Last tackle. A lot of heat coming in on Pedlow. That's going to be allowed to bounce, and there's going to be offside, is he? He must have touched it. Gratuitous.
So we've got Shalom College there, coached by Neil Feather, who's been the Confro coach for Shalom since 2015. And a change in the Marymount coaching. Jason Hamilton has been a long-term coach. He's on leave at the moment. And a name you'll probably know, Matt Geyer, former Melbourne Storm premiership winning winger, New South Wales Origin player. He still goes for the Blues, unfortunately, but Matt Geyer coaching this year.
Is it because of the jersey that he's coaching?
No, he seems,
the blue ones?
It wouldn't do many harm. But Matt, of course, is a teacher at Marymount. He teaches there. His son Cole played in the 2018 Marymount team with Xavier Coates, which Matt was an assistant coach of that team. So Matt's got a deep connection with this school, Marymount College, and he's very excited to be back here.
Geelong College come up with an error now, and they were going to look to pounce. Will Marymount able 10 out from the try line. Dummy half is Harris. Sankey. Underball here now to Hadley Smith from Philip Coates. Not sure if it's related. He has similar hair. Last tackle now, referee says. Goes himself with a little kick from Pedlow. Has that been played at? The referee will say, yes, it has. 6 to go. Here's a Marymount on the charge. Shalom College, are they going to pay for that error as they charge forward with McAllister again? Tackle 5 out from the try line. Options left and right here. They go himself, trying to get through there as Taj Harris. And Harris is denied by only inches. What a dummy half. Wobbly old pass, finds the prop forward, and Abel flat-footed to a degree, is an easy target, and he's brought to the grass. So they're just hanging around the goalpost at the moment on Marymount. They haven't gone wide, now they do. Out the back three, Thompson, catch and pass. That's all they got to do, and scores in the corner. Ben Radler gets a pass from Damrow, and Radler will open the account here, and just total ball possession here for Marymount College.
Nice try to the wing too. I looked at the Marymount bench as that try was scored, and a lot of people jumped up, but Matt Geyer, who scored many tries on the wing, barely moved as that try was scored. But a nice effort for Marymount here, and going left where they had numbers, some pretty good draw and pass work here before that try is scored in the corner. This is a bit of a younger Marymount team this year. Speaking to Matt Geyer yesterday about this in Mackay, only a handful of guys, probably one of the fewer numbers of players back from last year from Confro, but they played very well last year in Confro Marymount. Now 2019 was sort of their breakthrough year. The last time we got to a final situation and Marymount made the semi-finals for the first time. That was a really big year for them. They've been trying for a long time to make the semi-finals, and they came from 14-0 down against Marist Ashgrove to make those semi-finals. It was a very emotional day for those Marymount players. They had the player of the carnival last time in a back row called Charlie Murray, who's now playing in the Host Plus Cup comp for Tweed Seagulls. And of course, the year before that in Charters Towers, this conversion is attempted into the wind. And it's short. The year before, 2018, they had a very good team, which of course included Xavier Coates and Cole Geyer. I mentioned Cole, who's Matt's son. He's now in the Melbourne Storm system. And of course, Xavier Coates, 12 months to the week after he played Confro, he made his Broncos debut. So a really good history at Marymount with the Makos as a school. Teams are often known as, but they'll be hoping that they can repeat that semi-final performance this year.
Just looking at Philip Coates, he looks like, is he related? I wonder. 7'3" from Marymount, have to be his brother. Just going by the hairdo.
We'll find out at half time.
Yeah. He's playing in the centres as well, which is also another symmetry towards Xavier Coates. But anyway, Marymount, they lead.
With him, boys, with him. Nice
4-0.
Nice
And from memory, Xavier Coates did play centres for Marymount and Charters Towers. It was hard to miss.
Duff from dummy half. A knock on from dummy half. And that's actually, it wasn't from Coates because Cooper Bye started banging his, that's what he's probably got headgear on, banging his head because he made the error. Maybe that's a reason for that. So Bye is another name that's synonymous with broken knee, B-A-I.
Yeah, there's a few children of former NRL players at Marymount. It's a Brisbane Catholic Education School, which has been a draw card for very good rugby league players and their families over the years.
Scrum won and by Shalom College, so this is their first real attacking raid inside Marymount College territory. 25 out from the try line. The red and whites, here they come, charging onto it. There's a big one, and Jack Smith and Schmidt will get up. 15 out. Here they come. Can they get it across the line? Out the back, catch and pass, big contact to Atoma.
Watch it, Sam, watch it.
Takes a tackle there of Bye, and it comes undone. Yeah. Frustrating stuff here for Shalom College. They had good field position here, but just didn't quite have the hands ready.
And they've come through the Dolphins Cup, so they're currently in the Dolphins Cup, Shalom, which is a new competition. So the old schoolboy comp we have with the Aaron Payne Cup, that's now the teams from Mackay, Townsville and North. And the Dolphins Cup is set up. It's got teams from Rocky and Bundaberg. So Shalom finds itself in there.
Okay.
It's played 2 games. It's won both. One against Rocky Grammar, and then it beat Bundy State High 44-0 in their second match. So they're 2-0 there. Marymount has been together playing in the Titans Cup, but again, there's schools that have been affected by the massive rain for the first half of the year.
It's a good idea. I love that. It saves a bit of travel. And
one thing it does do, and we might see as the week goes on, though, it means that the teams out of Rocky, such as Emmaus and, of course, Cathedral College, as a gap here.
Tries to throw a dummy there, and he does so. He's going to take the tackle. He just presence of mind to get good field position.
A very good run, too. But it just means those teams like Rocky Grammar, the Cathedral College, don't get to play St. Patrick's Mackay Ignatius Park College until now.
Okay. Flick pass out the back. Referee says play on. There's a chance here from Hadley Smith. 10 out. Dummy half now is Taj Harris. Rollerson with a hot pink headgear. Love headgear. Makes my job a lot easier. Bye almost reaches over with his elbow to cross the chalk. It's the last tackle now, says the referee. Marymount, the Makos. Denied, tries to do an Alfie Lang and reach over the top. No, he's asked the touch judge if it's a double movement. He said no, so the referee will award the try. Good communication with the touchy.
There's a nice try too, a movement down the field, that great break through the middle which set up, and that little flick pass too we saw from Coates there that kept that play going. Some nice patches here. Now Matt Geyer has said these are a young team. He's trying to build combinations with them, and some of these kids will go forward till next year as we see the replay here. Just kept rolling to set up that play, the ball on the last tackle as well. So we go here. Don't worry about the kick. We'll just go straight over. When you're a big man, don't worry about a kick. Leave it to me, and I'll go and score a try for you.
Sam McAllister, I think the number 8, goes over and scores a try. A good front rower's try. And that, you keep it simple for the front rowers.
Just get in there. You don't need to go at the back and kick to the crossfield with a win like that. I'll do it myself and we'll score. And that's a handy try. So this will be a game where, again, we're trying to sort these teams out because it's so hard to line up teams that play in different competitions, and that's why Confro can often be very difficult. We're talking to the Padua College guys about how they're going to go this year. They're playing their first game of league for the year right now as this conversion hits the post, and the wind is in people's minds there, I think. But Padua College playing their first game for the year right now. They haven't even played a trial game. They're coming off a rugby union season, and so they've worked out the best way from their viewpoint, and the same with St. Pat's at Shorncliffe, is to just go and play league, because if you start to play trials, you can risk getting hurt. There's just not enough time. So, again, we're trying to line up Marymount and Shalom, who play in different comps. The same now with the fact we can't really get that many games competitively between the likes of, say, Ignatius Park and Cathedral College, because the comps have split. So we're going to learn a lot in these first 2 days.
Interesting. Yeah, it makes it a long season. Obviously, you play 8 weeks of union, and then you've got to play this and then rugby league afterwards. So it makes it a long season, doesn't it? And
just watching the St. Pat's Shorncliffe game, as the ball is stripped as a penalty here on the outset from that try. St. Pat's Shorncliffe were very good in the first half against St. Mary's Toowoomba. St. Mary's Toowoomba, former Confro Shield champions from 2018. They're an established league school, Jonathan Thurston's old school, among others. St. Pat's probably had the better of that first half, but then playing against the combinations of Mary's and the experience, St. Mary's won that game. But pretty decent effort from Shorncliffe, and they'll be the ones that these teams that have been playing league will be trying to watch, because they've got no video at all. So the Cathedral College play Shorncliffe next. I'll guarantee you Mick Busby and his team will be watching video right now.
All right, there you go. So if we can do it justice with Jai Watton. Interesting how it all plays out, isn't it?
And that makes picking winners very hard.
Totally. That's what you want. Keep a bye. Looks a quick play, the ball does so. Looks the referee for some reason. Anyway, that's going to go over the shoulder, unfortunately, there from Rollerson. Is going to be picked up there by forwards. Got to do the work all the time. Sam McAllister picks it up there from a backs error. He's not going to play that straight. Well, the referee's going to say he's knocked it on. It was ugly play from everyone involved, so let's have a scrum.
And the thing that strikes me all the time with this carnival, John, we have so many games, so many teams, the spirit of confraternity. We talk about it all the time. It was spoken about at length at yesterday's opening mass and opening ceremony, and the coaches and the captains meetings that were held separately. The spirit of confraternity, it's the humility, the respect, the sportsmanship, and I'm always stunned at so many kids, boys, girls, and the carnival has always played in such great spirit. Even if there's a mistake from a referee, you see the kids get up and keep going. Very rarely any push and shove. I touch wood as I say that, but it's a great comp for that.
No, certainly. That's good offload there. He got actually Polex, but it's going to be in the hands of Froloff. Froloff's still going. Froloff, a little Energizer bunny. He barges over the halfway line. And it's interesting because it's such a prestigious award to win. So the competitiveness, somehow you got to keep that aggression out of the game here and the sportsmanship, even though there's such a prize trophy at the end of the week. So it's good resilience from the players. Something that we really wish could go all the way to the top. So
yeah, it is, and this is Catholic and independent school education, mostly Catholic schools, but yeah, it is. They play it really well in great spirit.
Kick over the top here. The chase has come through end over end. It's still going. Does it sit up long enough? No. So there'll be a 7-tackle restart on the 20. So we saw in previous games, you weren't here, Michael, there. The first kick from the number 6 or the number 7 was too long, and they readjusted for the second time they had a crack at it. And it's just learning what the conditions are.
Yeah, and that's been a factor across all of those fields at the moment. Just teams trying to work out what they should do with that breeze. Just keeping an eye, we can see on one of the neighbouring fields, St Brendan's versus Padua playing their first game, and obviously St Brendan's is one of the teams to watch out for. The Yapoon team, who's won Confro more than any other school.
They, from my memory, they got a bit of an upset loss in the first in their game in Bundaberg, memory serves me.
Remember it well, and it was to the team they're playing right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think they led.
They led 18-0, and the quarter-final drew 18-all, and Padua advanced on a number of tries scored.
It was well, I know the final was good, but that game was an absolutely crackerjack game of rugby league. I'll never forget that one. I mean, did a lot of games that week, but that one certainly stands out.
It was a great game.
See Pedlo just trying to get a quick play the ball. He does so. Sankey goes without it. Referee says 6 to go. It's been touched by a Shalom College player. He's only just realised that there's a halfback there in Sankey, and he's going to go close to the try line. So Shalom with another set of 6 to defend. 6 to go again, says the referee. Coates for the try line, and over he goes. The Makos make another try on the board. That's their third, and this time it's through Philip Coates.
Another nice try to Marymount. They're making the most of their chances here. A good kick to regain possession and get 6 to go for them before. And it's just put that pressure on. And nice balls to the right here. Quick balls in good position. Double overlap in the end. Coates manages to score in that corner, and there's some promising signs here for Marymount at the moment, and Shalom, they'll know that they've got that breeze at their back at the moment too. But I must say, John, even on the fields I was watching the full Div1 round before, Jim had a lot of tries scored against the wind.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it can be a godsend, to be honest.
Yeah, it was very surprising. These you just think with the way the breeze is going across all fields in the same direction here from south to north. But yeah, it's not working out that way that we might think.
Well, my theory is that they're keeping ball in hand.
They are.
They're running on the last rather than kick.
They are keeping ball in hand, and sometimes we're seeing the sets when the ball goes over the dead ball line at the other end. So
that's right.
We do. Now, I don't like, though, the odds of kicking from the sideline today with this breeze, because it is really bending some of these kicks.
That is the downside. But I remember seeing a player you might remember, John Torrio, with his kicking game.
Yes.
And in the grand final against, I think it might have been against Valleys at Bishop Park, where his kicking game was outstanding into the wind, just holding it up.
Yep.
And
just the smart guys who just know that even when you have the wind, that's still a challenge to deal with it properly, the same as into the wind.
One thing I haven't seen many attempts of so far today, Michael, is 40-20s.
Yeah, true.
Which is interesting. And there's no slashes with the boot either. Some of these guys can kick.
And I still think that it's one of the underutilised facets of the modern game, the way that some of those players can do that. Just a little thing on some of our former NRL players who are coaching in Confro this year as the game restarts.
Coach loses that one. Goes back.
We've got, of course, Matt Guy here for Marymount. Across on the other field right now, St Brendan's College, coached by Scott Minto, former Bronco and Cowboys winger. Now, we've got a lost ball here, yes, a lost ball chance for Shalom here. But also we have one of Matt Guy's best mates, and they're not going to meet in the pool games, but maybe they could meet in the finals matches. Tony Martin, they played together in an NRL premiership for the Melbourne Storm. Tony Martin scored a try. Matt Guy kicked the winning goal. Tony Martin is the godfather of Matt's son Cole.
Wow.
And Tony Martin is coaching the Cathedral College Rockhampton this year. His son Tanner is the halfback. So we've got NRL players in many different places for this year.
There you go, and mate versus mate.
Yeah, and close mates too.
Yeah. Coach, the man who came up with the error, has given Shalom the opportunity now, so they're down 12 points to 0. Catch and passes. Simple game, rugby league, and over he goes, the lock forward, and Jack Picaro comes up with a try in the set straight after the scrum was set.
Nice try to Shalom, and late in the half too. We can see the clock here. It'll stop at 20 minutes and that'll be half time. That's a really handy try off that error from Marymount. That'll be a frustration for Marymount, but for Shalom, making the most of this, we see the draw and pass again. Picaro, very well done, scrambles over, and that's a valuable try. And one you think that they need to, after not having the amount of ball that they'd want, send the ball right. It's a simple game, John. You couldn't say that better. Picaro, he was one of the players back from last year's Confro. So we've got about 7 players in the Shalom team who played at Iona College last year. Of course, in the shortened carnival. Not many from Marymount. As we say, they're looking to see if this group can stay together and also play next year at St Lawrence's in Brisbane, where next year's Confro will be played. So they can bring these players together. But it's funny, we talk about trying to pick teams that can win. The Padua guys gave great insight into the 2005 year. They hosted in 2006, and they brought together a bunch of boys, a young team in 2005, and they thought these kids can come through and play at our carnival we host, which is so important to the host teams. And, of course, they went as a team that, as that kick goes astray, they went as a team that were getting experience in 2005. They won the competition in 05. They won it and didn't make the final in 2006.
There you go.
So that's Confro at its best as half-time comes.
Half-time 12-4 in favour of Marymount, the Makos, over Shalom College from Bundaberg. Back with the second half very shortly.
Since 1975, Stratis has been getting the footy player ready for the game. Today, Stratis is evolving.
It's a new era.
It's a takeover. To athletes of all sports.
No matter what you play.
Basketball.
Rugby union.
Soccer.
Netball. Rugby league. AFL.
Cricket.
Touch football.
Stratis has you covered.
Gear developed by the player.
For the player.
Families need to be engaged in their children's education because it is what makes a difference to their learning. 60 to 80% of the success a child has at school is what happens at home. Parent leaders in schools are crucial. This is something we can all do to improve learning because it's about every parent and every child.
Half of this Division 1 pool match at Confraternity Carnival. Shalom College kicks off to Marymount College on the right. As I said, this is a Div 1 game. We've got 16 teams in Division 1 and we've got some full-time results from our first batch of Div 1 games. Played a little bit earlier. St Augustine's College Cairns gets off to a good start, a 14-6 win over Marist College Ashgrove. A big win for the defending champions Ignatius Park College in Townsville, 44-0 over Aquinas College. St Mary's College Toowoomba, another former champion, 20-6 against a pretty impressive St Pat's College Shorncliffe team. And the host team with a big crowd out there, St Pat's Mackay 34, St Peter Claver College 10. And one more, Iona College 24, Rocky Grammar School 6, a very good win to Iona College John Devine, so some good results early.
Yeah, Father Trigg in the commentary there before, he said he was nervous, but he said he's nervous before every game. Last tackle now has been put in the sky here by Pedlow. He's going to be taken to the back and beats the first, beats the second, with a tackle coming out of the top there from Cody Young. Shalom 12-4. It's the Makos. Bit of a juggle, but he comes up with the footy. The tackle there is sinking that play on. Here he goes now, is Yates, and Yates tries to stand up. Yates' goal just pulled down there by Mark Thompson. He's on his way to the try line. Still could do so. Shalom College, they're on the roll. It's a charge now here from Patrick Curtis. Straight over the top comes Talas Bell. And a bell the tackle up. 15 out from the try line. Sly goes. Oh, he's wrong foot there is Evans. He gets the offload. The tackler over the top is Hughes. Blindside goes for a dart from dummy half. There's Mockington. Now it's the last tackle. They come a long way here, Shalom. They need a repeat set, or even better if they can get a try. It's the last tackle. He's going to have to take that tackle 5 out from the try line. Miscommunication there, but it's still 95 metres to the other end for the Makos.
Nice start that for Shalom to come back. We saw them finish the first half well. They've started the second half well also. And we mentioned earlier in the day today, one of the big challenges for these coaches is to get the workload spread across their 21 players to get them ready for the quarterfinals tomorrow afternoon. That's the 4th game in 2 days. So this will be the challenge now for Matt Geyer and for Neil Feder. We've got a lifting tackle here.
Now look at that. Now I'll tell you what, any other game in senior footy, somebody does a tackle like that and everybody comes in. He knows he's done wrong, unfortunately, there is Tamil Narco. And, yep, we get on with it.
That spirit of confraternity we can see there, up and they go. And, and not casting aspersions on that tackle, but there's also a very good judiciary process in place at this carnival. So we have, as this ball goes to the right.
Nice swinging play here there from the Makos. Oates turns it back inside. Coates, dynamic,
So we have a judiciary process in place after every game. Anyone who has to go goes to one of the rooms near the head office, and the head of the QRL's match review committee, he does the judiciary here. So after every game, anyone who might have run foul of the referee is assessed immediately and given a decision straight away. So it moves very fast. It's a really good process.
I'm going to worry about Tuesday night, where I used to travel every second week.
No Tuesday night. You can just go straight there.
Zachary Hughes is the player. So, and sometimes those tackles, it's just balance and off, inertia that can put the players on their ears. There's no malice, and it's just you put a good shot on it, sometimes it just goes wrong.
That's
not
right.
Intentional. So it's the last tackle. He's going to run it himself and score, Willie. There's a lot of Shalom players there, but not enough. And goes over to Taj Harris and scores the 4th try for the Makos.
We see 2 quick tries. You don't often see this at this Div 1 level, a try one end and then a hit back at the other end, but we have here now, and that's an important try for Merrimack. They lost a bit of that momentum at the end of the first half and the start of the second half, and look at that, bumping out of tackles. Matt Geyer like that because his son wore the number 9 jersey a few years ago and did that a whole bunch of times. So nice effort by Merrimack to score and regain momentum.
He had a lot of work to do as well, so 3 or 4 all over him. It's Taj Harris, and that's the 4th try for Merrimack. None of them have been converted yet. This might be a different story.
And talking about managing those players, and I kept an eye on some of those Div 1 games before this, and Ignatius Park College, we said the defending champions, Coach Stephen Lansley was able to rotate a whole bunch of his players in that game. So I'd imagine the same happened for Mackay as that ball goes over for 2, almost knocks out the bakery truck. So that would be an important thing for those teams to get ahead like that so that they can make sure they're as fresh as they can be for tomorrow afternoon.
Marymount actually making wholesale changes here. A few players have come off. One of those is Cooper Bye, sort of Marcus Bye, come to the sideline. A couple of other players have come off for a rest. There's the fullback in Mark Thompson. Also comes to the sideline for Marymount, as does Ryan Damro. So this is a shortish kickoff. Takes it nicely, but gets crunched from behind from Junior Tuatoma. And driven back to the 20-metre line. So this is a bit more aggression they need in the middle of the park here, Shalom. They need to score next. They're down by 14 points. 15 minutes still to go, so plenty of time. Just need to get some football. It's not the last tackle. Looking for a 40-20. Goes up. It's going to be taken. Knocked on. It's going to be... Oh, as he bats it back in here. It's still alive here. Is it a try? The referee's going to say it's a knock on by Shalom first.
He is. I think the touch judge was trying to say the ball was knocked back, but the referee seemed to disagree and say it was knocked on. Here, I'm looking. There's a bit of... And the scrum feed is going to Shalom. So the touch judge has said the ball was knocked back. The referee seemed to think that maybe it wasn't, but he will take the touch judge's call, and Shalom will be very happy to get a scrum feed so close to their own line.
Good work by the touch judge, because the referee was adamant that it was knocked on the other way, and the touch said no, it wasn't, and he's got on the referee actually to change his mind to say, yeah, well, I'll take your word for it. You were closer at the time, so yeah, good stuff. Good stuff for Shalom in particular.
31! Zach, 31!
So Narco, first go. Line there to put a shot on. Wasn't able to do so, missed his target.
And again, Tal, and again.
So Shalom looking for a quick play the ball. Dart from dummy half. Here goes Mockington. That goes out to nobody. Just not hitting the target, unfortunately. Shalom, that's obviously to do with combinations. And Winger there, and Toft will take that to the 40-metre line. Still, now it's the last. Oh, I was going to say the last tackle. He wants them to go back. Play it where I think he actually played it anyway, but so it's with Picaro. Under ball now to Shepherd. Shepherd has been driven back here. Good tackle from Abel. Now it's the last on the 40. Into the breeze. Moncton. End over end, and that will find touch. Good chase there from Brennan.
Now, we did ask a question about whether Philip Coates was Xavier's brother, but there is no doubt whatsoever. It's been confirmed, but you can tell that he is, and he was coming across there. I think they're just trying to work out where they position themselves, those back three, in those last tackle moments, just how to get a handle on the way that the wind is affecting the length of some of those kicks. It's been a bit difficult. We've seen some teams today profit from it because it's been actually hard to predict how far it will go, as you've said.
I've got to change. Adamant was the word I was trying to use. I've been picked up by my grammar teacher that it's not adamant, it's adamant. But anyway, so I'm not safe anywhere.
She's your grammar teacher.
Yeah.
Still following online.
Yeah, well, he needs a life. Halfway line nearly crossed here by Mary Mountain.
You're an unfinished
Makos. Yes, I am. A work in progress. Dr. Frankenstein. Abel, over halfway line. Slow play the ball for the dummy half. Pedlo puts a kick in now. Is it going to go dead? I'm going to back it in and say it will, and it does. 20-metre restart. Shalom really needs some footy now, and here's a chance to try and... They got 7 tackles to do so.
Confidence, boys, still confidence.
Just keeping an eye on some of these other games that are on, and this is a good spot here because we can see some of the other fields. It's looks as though St Brendan's and Padua is a very close game at the moment. It's St Brendan's 6, Padua 0, according to the score, 10-0. That a try has just been registered as a penalty goes to Shalom here.
Gee, I'd like to see the advantage there, Michael.
Yeah, it was a potential movement on the right. So 10-0 to St Brendan's over Padua, and this is the same pool we're in with these teams here as well. So I'm sure they'll be keen to keep an eye on each other.
Oh, but geez, when they got some footy there, look, free-flowing in their backline movements, Shalom College. They just need the opportunity. Get some footy. So 25 out from the try line. They do need to score next. Evans takes to the line, steps off the right. Evans finds the defensive shoulder of Rollison. Slow play the ball. They're winning the wrestle here on Marymount. That's experience. Gets the offload, juggles it. Unfortunately, it's going to be picked up in the end there by Bleakley. So again, it comes unstuck here. An error there from Junior Tuatoma.
And here goes Marymount to see how they can get out of their own half in this set. Now, we mentioned that Matt Guy's very good mate Tony Martin, his former Storm teammate, coaching the Cathedral College for the first time, and TCC leading 14-0 over fellow Rocky School. Emmaus College, Cameron Munster's former school. So there's 3 Div 1 games at the moment we're keeping an eye on. But these two teams very interested in the St Brendan's Padua game.
Kicking early, straight down the throat there of the 14 Moncton. That's a little bit of a jinky run, trying to find a way through the forwards there, but there was one. Rollison as a tackler. He's been dynamic, this Connor Yates. He made that breakdown early on the left-hand side. He's a big unit for a centre 3/4. Here's Brendan now.
This is when you start to think we look like we've got about 8.5 minutes to go. 14 points the margin, so when do you start to chance your arm? And knowing the fact there's 2 other pool games to go.
It's a good one there from Kurz. Well, I think they... And the penalty late in the tackle count, so happy days for Shalom, especially if they can exploit the error and get 4 points on the board. Oh, a break, and that's what it's Law. Oh, gets close to the try line. Pulled down the last second there by, I think it might have been Coates. But they're going to score. Surely they do, and they do finally through Narco. And Narco will cross the chalk. 8 points to 18 with the kick to come. Oh, they can do it.
They can. The penalty was decisive in that. A great tackle by Coates at the back too to stop the first raid. But the defence was scrambling to try to keep up as the Shalom players kept coming to the right, and it was just too much in the end to keep going. We see the jam play, which had to be made, and Coates left one-on-one with a stepping player. Very difficult to defend that, but they kept coming, Marymount, but a good try from Shalom, and this will be an important kick just to add those extra 2 points to see what they can do. They're not out of it yet by any stretch. We know that in schoolboy games, points can come quickly. Not often in Div 1 games, but they can.
Well, it's already happened in this game. Because obviously Shalom scored, then Merrimack scores straight away. But the good run there by Noah Law, the 15 there for Shalom College. I thought he was going to go all the way. And as you said, Coates, try-saving tackle, 5 metres short of the try line. And would have loved to see the big fella go over, and Noah Law. And this conversion is going to hit the up. Oh, just shaved the left-hand side. So they needed that conversion, but... Yeah, so be it, 18-8.
Those points are important at the moment. These teams, we mentioned earlier today that what happens from these pool games is 3 divisions of 16 teams. And after the pool games, those teams are split into 6 divisions of 8, all to play for trophies. So the top 2 teams in each pool in this Division 1 as play restarts. The top 2 teams go through to play for the Confraternity Shield, which is the most prized trophy, as we mentioned.
Oh, did that come off? It's 6 to go. You would think the referee's going to say it's a knock on the first instance, unfortunately, from Shalom.
No, he said back.
Oh, no, there you go.
Play on. And then the teams that finish 3rd and 4th in their pools in Div 1 play for the Bob Lindner Trophy. And it is a prized trophy as well. So we've seen teams that haven't won a pool game yet have won the Lindner Trophy. So these teams will want to play for the Confraternity Shield, and if they don't make it to the top 2 in their comp, they will play for the Bob Lindner Trophy.
Now, Father Michael was unsure, but he had thought that the points for winning a half were not applied anymore, but he wasn't sure.
Let's go back and check that.
Not sure what they won a half, but anyway, because it could come into it. You get close games like the Padua game over here with Brothers and Brendans, or
Padua pressing the line again in that game. But Brendan's leading.
This one here is not quite over yet either. As I see 5 minutes still roughly remaining on the clock. We need to force an error here from the Makos to Shalom College from Bundaberg. I looked at the coaching there. I see the name Simon Gillies on there. Simon's involved in rugby
Simon
league.
is involved. I had a chat with him before this game. Yes. So as a penalty goes to Marymount. I had a chat to Simon before the game, of course. Plenty of info from Simon about Shalom. He did a great job at the 2019 Carnival, which was a flawless carnival hosted by Shalom. You're right, the win is now 2 points. The draw is 1 point, nothing for a loss. So we're at a situation where in forfeit is 2 points to the winning team, none to the losing team. I only mention forfeit because we still have the spectre of COVID-19 around, teams being very vigilant on that. We don't expect it to have any problems here, but it is something that the teams have kept in mind.
It wouldn't be from the lack of numbers, that's for sure.
No, and at the coaches' meeting last night, they were told that even if games have got only 9 players, they will go ahead to give some players something to play for.
Totally.
But in terms of points, well, that would be difficult. But you know, COVID still remains live around the place, so we hope everyone stays well.
Watton gets the offload. Yeah, I reminded that gets the offload back to Watton.
It seems the coaches' meetings go longer and longer these days, John, but they have to because we're talking about things we've never spoken about.
Exactly. The anomalies of it all. So dart here from Rollinson. Good Rollinson. Not a lot of size to him, but he's certainly got that body height to drive forward. 18 out from the try line. So the last one now here for Marymount College. loses the footy, and that'll be a change over 10 out. So Shalom, razzle-dazzle footy now required to try and at least get a few points in the bank. 18 points to 8. You probably think Marymount have got this one.
And I'm just seeing St Brendan's score a try on the field behind us here. So you would suggest that at the moment, the clock would say that the two teams in this pool who will exit game one with wins are Marymount and St Brendan's. And then we'll see what happens in this afternoon's game and tomorrow's third game.
Pass.
Good, take him out, boys.
Wanted by the ball carrier, but he'll get up regardless. The next game
We've got Marist Emerald back on here shortly.
they've had a banana or a bit of a feed because they were only on here a game or so ago. Forward pass called by the touch judges. So
I just saw the Marymount manager before doing something with the lunches, which will be obviously very keenly awaited by these players after the game because they're playing again this afternoon. So you've got to feed these boys. They're playing at 3:20. Back on field one here, Marymount against Padua. So,
wow, looking forward to that. Marymount not finished yet with the Shalom side as they pepper the line again. 10 out. It's a dart here from Taj. Harris has already got one. Taj looking for a double. Is he going to get there? Stands in the tackle.
Yeah, good cha-cha, good cha-cha.
Charging on the big fella, the number 10, then Talos Abel goes over and loses the footy in the process. and well,
he sold it very well, though. I thought from here that he might have put the finger in the air. Good on him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it falls out. But yeah, so Marymount are back here later on with Padua in a few hours' time. So they'll have just over 2 hours, 2.5 hours to get ready for that game.
That's a lengthy, or rather like an hour and a half, 2.5, you're really settled and you're cold again, aren't you?
Unless you want to go and get a big burger and fries, you might need the extra time, John.
Well, me, I've stick to my kale diet. I should. I'm still on the seafood diet. Seafood need it. There we go.
Doing it well.
Doing it well, yeah. We're talking about Father Michael was talking about how much money he's brought into the economy, and I can tell you tonight I'll certainly add to that some good food around in Mackay. So closing stages here for Shalom College up against Marymount. Now it's the last tackle. With their last opportunity. Clock is approximate on our scoreboard. Look out, Coates. Tries to get through, but he's going to be tackled on the far side there by Ben Toft. Dummy half is Sankey. He'll pepper that left-hand defence of Shalom College. Most of the points have come from the left-hand side in attack from Marymount. He's lost the ball. I think that little squeaky noise was a full-time hooter. They might have to work on that one. Anyway, full-time here. 18 points at Marymount College over Shalom in this Div1 game. The first one here on field number 1. We'll take a break here. Next game coming up, Marist College Emerald, their second appearance here on field 1, up against St Joseph College Toowoomba. Michael Crutchell will be back at 12:50 for that fixture.
Father Michael Twigg joining you.
Beautiful. He'll be very happy after his win. They win?
Yeah, they won. They won comfortably. He'll tell you about it too.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, thanks for your time. Back soon.